right, we are back out doing some more field testing on the Macro Multi-Cruiser, and we are back at the Spanish Trail site that I posted some videos at in the past, and I just got a beautiful mid-conductor. Rang in as a solid 54, very nice signal. A lot of flat iron here. So far I found a couple little things, but nothing exciting. Lots of flat iron, and then I just dug this. So hopefully you can see that. Still got the clasp. Flip it over, and ladies and gentlemen, that is a Phoenix button. Awesome. So that's great. That makes me really happy. That's I think the 6th Phoenix button that I have pulled out of here. So all right, hopefully that's coming in nice and clear, and we will get back at you with the next good find. But that makes the day right there, right out of the gate. All right, we're out here testing the Macro Cruiser, Multi-Cruiser, and I got a nice signal, but I think it might be flat iron. So let's check it out. There's a lot of that flat rusty tin out here, tons of it. So I'll turn off the headphones and let you listen to it. All right, I'm gonna dig it up. It's not the super awesome like coin signal. It's a little bit jumpy. You get it in the right position, it locks in, but that flat iron does that too. So let's dig it up and we'll see what we got. All right, just as I suspected, there's the culprit right there. So yeah, there's a lot of that to deal with out here. You know, I'm deciding right now that you can overanalyze it and waste a lot of time, or just dig it, and I'm just digging it and removing it. Hopefully I'll get lucky, and by removing some of the stuff out of here, it might reveal a target that was masked by one of these cans or rusty tin or whatnot. All right, out here testing the Macro Multi-Cruiser here, and we got a mid-conductor signal here. This little area is full of junk, iron, nails, flat tin, rusty cans, you name it. Iron, big, small, medium size, but finding some stuff out here, definitely. I just got a Phoenix button, I got a couple other age indicators, and I just got this mid-conductor. It's not an awesome signal, but I'm gonna dig it. So all right, I'll dig it and we'll see what we got. All right, there's what we got. So I don't know if that's old, you know, I don't know if that's an old 3-ringer or if that's a modern piece, but that's what it was, a piece of fired lead. I don't know about this signal. In my experience on the racers, the Impact, and the Cruiser, anytime you get a nice high tone but you start seeing it peak with a 97, it's usually iron wraparound. So we have one such signal here, so I'm gonna get it here, and we'll find out what we got. But every once in a while you see it peak into 97, but boy does that sound good, and especially in the headphones, this sounds awesome. So all right, I'm gonna dig it up and we'll see what we got. All right, I got the signal out of the hole. I'll let you listen to it before I pinpoint it. It still sounds pretty good. The target ID dropped a little, but it could still be a coin, or it could still be flat iron. All right, let me get my pinpointer out here and we'll see what we got. And it is a piece of flat iron, so that's the way it goes. All right, folks, still working this site here, and you know, it's really tempting to pass up the signals on the Multi-Cruiser or racer or any machine that are really low, depending on what you're looking for, right? If you're definitely just looking for gold, then sure, you're gonna dig them. But out here, most of the signals in the 20s turn out to be 22 shells, and in the 30s they tend to be larger caliber firearm shells. So, but I just dug a solid 25 and I got this. So this is, unfortunately it's a little bit smashed there, but this is a ball button. And this is Spanish. I mean, this is old. This is 1700s all day long. So it just goes to show you that it can pay off. I mean, it might be painful. You might dig a lot of 22 shells, but when you get a nice little relic like that, that's pretty cool. That's as early as we get here in California. All right, back at you in the next one. All right, so just got a 34. Be careful with these guys. You'll have a bad day if you have a brush with those. Any rate, just got a 34 and just wanted to share with you what it was. So again, most of these 20s and 30s are turning out to be ammunition shells, but not always. So anyway, we'll keep it rolling and bring you what the next finds are. All right, still going at our site here, and I just dug. I was pretty sure it was going to be a shotgun, or actually a smaller arm shell. Came in as a 36, and I got this. This is awesome. So this is Spanish all day long. Old, it's pretty worn. Someone must have really liked it, but some kind of an old, probably religious medallion. But yeah, that's awesome. All right, back at you on the next interesting find. All right, just got this. Came in as a scratchy signal in the 50s, 60s, and it looks like it's part of an old suspender clip buckle thing. What's cool is it actually says Suspender Company, and man, that looks old. That looks way older than most of those types of buckle things you find in ghost towns. So, but this is a Spanish outpost site, so this is pretty old. I'm gonna go ahead when I get home and see if I can find out anything about the Suspender Company, because it's kind of interesting. I wish it was the whole thing, but you know, that might be why it's here to begin with. All right, back at you on the next signal. All right, this place is slowing down. The iron's not slowing down, but the finds are slowing down. Anyway, I just got an iffy signal, and I went ahead and dug it. And right out of the gate was this neat old bottle top here. That's pretty old. But then was this cool button here. So definitely I would say it's a civilian button. And it's looks like it's actually an early two-piece button there. So, all right, that's pretty cool. I love to find stuff like that. So it's all period, part of the history, and we'll get back at you on the next find. All right, this is day 2 detecting with the multi-cruiser at the Spanish Trail Outpost. And today we're using the optional small coil. So this is an accessory that they'll offer when the Mac Cruiser is released. We'll see what we can find. There's a lot of iron out here. Yesterday I was using the factory 11-inch double D. So this coil, I believe, is a 4.5 by 7-inch coil, and we'll see how that does. We'll see if it can get through this iron. I definitely can get to places that large coil cannot get, because just due to the size and also the fact that it's in a closed coil design versus an open design, it'll be a little bit more pleasant to hunt with in these areas where there's lots of bushes and dead sagebrush and whatnot, because it won't get tangled up all the time like the open loop coils tend to. So at any rate, as soon as we get something interesting, we'll get back to you. Okay, got a mid-conductor signal here. I can't guarantee it's not going to be a piece of flat rusty tin, but I'll let you listen to it, then we'll dig it up and see what we got. It's coming right into mid-50s. So, all right, we'll dig it up and see what we got. All right, turned out to be a bullet, so it's a decent signal, but you can see there's can, iron. I mean, there's just, you know, that's just the exposed stuff, so you can imagine what's under the ground. So you got to weed through that. Some of it's tiny, gives you good coin signals. The big stuff usually overloads, you can, unless it's deep. But anyway, that was coming in the mid-50s, so back at you in the next one. All right, the cans, flat iron, rusty tin have been punishing in here, but this came in the mid to high 70s, a whole harmonica reed. So that's cool. All right, back at you on the next one. All right, out here working with the multi-cruiser, same spot, and I just pulled out a beautiful real here. It's looks like it's a Mexican real. It's not Spanish, but boy, it's in great shape. So came in as a solid 77, just locked in. So all right, back at you on the next find. All right, everybody, time to do the wrap up from the hunt last weekend. And first I want to thank everybody for watching my videos. I enjoy making the videos, and I don't make a penny on them, so it's just a hobby basically that I enjoy sharing my finds and whatnot when we go on these trips. But do please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and potentially, they claim, if I get over 1,000 subscribers, eventually you get some little token amount of money, which might help pay for gas and will help me to continue make some more additional YouTube videos. So at any rate, definitely won't be quitting my day job, but would still be nice to have a little help to make more videos, like better video editing software than Microsoft Movie Maker. Alright, on to the finds here. So I have the Mercury dime there, it's just for a size comparison, which we might use for a few things. But I'll go ahead and start here on the bottom. So I found a whole harmonica reed. You know, what ghost town stage stop type of hunt would be complete without a harmonica reed? So we actually hunted three different sites, and I'll share the finds. I kind of have them segmented out by site. So we basically are working on Spanish Trail sites, and there are a few other little spots along the way that we checked out and whatnot. And let's take a look here. So first we have this kind of lid thing here. I found a few of these before. I'm not really sure what this is. They sound amazing, of course. It's some kind of brass. So I got the harmonica reed up here. So we've got that. This thing here might be a lantern part or something like that that got smashed up. I'm not sure. So, of course, it sounded good. This, I have no idea what that is. If you know what that is, it looks like some kind of a tool. A little small tool here. You can see compared to the dime, it's not very large. So, if you have any idea what this little guy is, I'm thinking maybe it's some kind of a gun tool or some kind of small tool. But at any rate, if you know what that is, go ahead and share that in the comments, please. So, here's that little suspender clip that I found. This thing here, I'm not sure, it's threaded at the top but broke off, so maybe that came off of a powder, black powder container or something like that, powder flask. Copper, those are, you know, this spot here is old, early 1800s Spanish site, so here's a neat little button. So I like finding things like that. You can see it's kind of got a pretty cool little pattern on there. So this thing here, we're thinking at this point might be some kind of a horse concho type thing. So this I thought was flat iron tin when I dug it, but I actually noticed when I was going through my finds it has a little decorative pattern on there. So it's very light, some kind of just stamped tin decorative thing, not sure what it was actually part of. Okay, this awesome find here for me, Phoenix button. So Phoenix buttons are quite old. They're associated with fur trade and also with Spanish mission outposts, and they're typically only found at Spanish and fur trade era sites. So as well as this ball button here, unfortunately it's smashed. Only found one of these that was not smashed, but these are 1700 Spanish all day long. Pretty neat find. We've got some underwear buttons there, and then we've got these little tiny bits here. This one's interesting. Almost looks like it maybe was a little small hand knob that someone used to turn something because it had a backing on it, or maybe it was a very primitive earring or something like that. Not really too sure. These here we seem to think might be like a puzzle ring, or they call them Russian wedding rings or Turkish puzzle rings, things like that. You can see this part here actually has a little design on it.
and they have little kind of loops at the end here so they could all kind of link together and make one ring. So we're thinking that might be what it does. It probably had a silver wash or a gold wash on it at one time that eroded away. You can see all the bullets here. I dug quite a few bullets this time, all out of this site. I like this round ball. That's a good size round ball, but that was a drop. Still got the mold mark on the end there where they cut it off out of the mold maker. So a little bit of China. Here's one of my more exciting finds out of there. So this is pretty neat. This is a Spanish one, or I'm sorry, a Mexican era after they got their independence from Spain. $1. Boy, is it in beautiful shape. So I mean, it came out of the ground nice, and I just buffed it off with a little silver polishing cloth, and it came out perfect. 1844. So that's a really neat find. And just for size comparison, that's what it looks like compared to a mercury dime. So it's a little bit bigger than a dime, and if I remember my Spanish coin history and whatnot correctly, which the Mexicans evolved into using, and so did the United States eventually, base our currency on the Spanish coin system, currency system. This was actually equivocal to 12.5 cents. So, which would make sense because it is certainly a little bit larger than a dime. Okay, so little bits and pieces of some broken china there. This is a different site here, so not much there. We busted our butt out at that site and mostly dug modern bullets. One little pea shooter pistol ball, a smashed Henry rimfire, a grommet, a little brass cap that smashed down to something. I'm thinking this piece here, maybe that's a gun part. Not too sure. So if anybody knows what that is, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'd love to know. A little tiny buckle there. And then this here, we're thinking apparently might be part of a black powder canister. So, and apparently they rated black powder by fineness of grains back then, from like F to quadruple F, and we see that's marked double F. So it's a heavy piece. It's threaded on there. Not sure what kind of metal that is. Maybe some kind of a brass metal, cheap brass. It sure sounded good. I'm amazed this never got dug at this site we were at, because this was, of course, the size and whatnot, an awesome signal. So this came from the Spanish site, and that's a pretty neat horseshoe in my opinion. I'm not a horseshoe expert, but that sure looks old to me. And then this square nail here, nothing exciting, but you can see how the end of it split. It sounded pretty good. And then, you know, iron always can surprise you. So here's a neat little, probably off of a lockbox, a little small lockbox, or, you know, maybe even a door or something. You know, go through and they could lock it. But at any rate, some kind of neat little iron relic implement there. And then this is a different site right here. This site here is another old Spanish outpost. It's a tough site. I don't think it saw a lot of usage. So the first time that Tom and I hunted there, Tom got a late 1700s silver $1. I found a bust dime, and Tom found a clipped seated half dime. So we did not get any coins on this visit. It's very stingy with finds. Got a lot of pistol balls, round balls, and whatnot. Some kind of little green copper thing at the top. Camp lead. Not sure what this thing is. So, kind of odd little old piece there. More bullets. Little piece of broken china there. And my understanding is this site originally started off as a Spanish outpost, and then later, after Mexico took over from Spain, it became a farm and was in use until more or less the 1850s or so. So you could see a confluence of items that range from, you know, the late 1700s up until mid 1800s. So at any rate, that's it. I'm pretty happy with the finds. Oh, and this, how can I forget this? So Tom and I talked about this item here. This, we believe, is a 1600s pendant, and you can see the wear on it. That's pretty amazing. So somebody clearly loved this item. Whatever this little personal item is, probably a religious pendant. Somebody definitely loved it, and it was well used way before it came to the New World or Alta California. And it's pretty neat to find stuff like that. So again, not 100% sure what it is. It does have some writing on the top. Unfortunately, because it's so worn, it's really challenging to even tell what the writing looks like, even under a magnifying glass. It was hard to find. So, but yeah, it's a neat little find there. And it looks like the type of religious pendants you see them dig up in Europe, you know, in Spain and different places like that where they got around. And the Phoenix button, can't forget that. So Phoenix buttons, that's my 6th Phoenix button from that site. And that's a nice one, little cuff flat button. Still got the loop on the back, and it's in pretty nice shape there. So this site here, we've only got 6 Phoenix buttons out of there. So, and that's number 6. So I'm sure there's probably another 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 hiding out there, but it's getting to be really tough to hunt at that site now. Conductors are getting far and few between, but iron is not. There's no shortage of that. So at any rate, that is about it. You can see all the bullets and everything we got up there. Some of them, like this one here, is not fired. Alright, thanks for watching. Again, if you enjoy the videos, I'd definitely like to continue making them. Please like and subscribe, and I will be certainly happy to continue making the videos. Thanks for watching.